You're listening to JenEric Endtalkers, a Final Fantasy XIV podcast. And now, your hosts, Jen and Eric. Welcome back to another episode of JenEric Endtalkers. I'm JenEric Eric, and with me as always my beautiful wife, JenEric Jen.
Hi, everybody.
And Serby is jumping up on me for some reason. And joining us on this episode is our friend Snakyyz.
Yeah, it is.
How's it going, Snakyyz? How you doing?
Everything's doing good. This is the second time I've said this.
Yeah, it is the second one. You're not, Snakyyz, you're not supposed to talk about the pre-podcast stuff.
I know.
You're lifting the veil.
I already broke the rules.
They're supposed to be under the impression that we have not spoken a word until this started recording.
No, we entered the Discord and we just sat there in silence.
Yeah. Yep. Didn't say a single thing. We didn't hide any of this conversation from you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, Snakyyz, we met Snakyyz. We talked about it a little bit on stream, but we met Snakyyz because Snakyyz made a really awesome dwarf song on TikTok, and I was just like, hey, I'm a dwarf. I can do I could do the sound. So I used the sound and made a TikTok myself, and it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I made a really awesome dwarf song, and wouldn't you know, a really awesome dwarf saw the song, and you know,
and I was like,
it was pretty
ooh,
great.
This looks fun.
You know, it was funny. It was funny after the fact that you know, I had been watching you guys on TikTok for like a month and a half or so before I actually, you know, before I guess you guys even knew I existed. And when I saw that you guys had stitched it, someone just tagged me inside of it. And I thought when I saw that, I was like losing my mind. I thought it was great because I've never had that sort of like acknowledgement before. So you guys, in like a serious sense, like jump started, like you guys were the inspiration of me jump starting a lot of this stuff.
Oh,
so
awesome.
it really does mean a lot. That
is,
know,
and you're freaking killing it right now. It's funny
crazy.
because so Jen and I were like, okay, we're gonna have Snakyyz on, and I was like, yeah, what's Snakyyz been up to? And I went and checked out your channel, and I was like, oh damn, Snakyyz got a freaking average higher than us. What the hell? You're killing it, dude. You're kicking ass. And I log
in sometimes and I'm like, oh man, I don't know, why do people like me?
Why not?
It's the suspenders and the red hair.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. I keep saying that the suspenders is what brings me power.
I need to get me a pair of those. I'm gonna start wearing suspenders. I see a few people from my stream inside your chat right now.
Yay.
Hello.
Already giving me crap. Imagine playing a samurai.
Hey, samurai is one of the classes that I decided to level besides ninja.
Exactly.
So samurai's pretty cool.
Big brain people.
So anyway, we usually start off the podcast by talking about what we've done in Final Fantasy XIV for the past week. And again, we can't really talk too much about it because we're staying spoiler free because Jen and I still have not finished MSQ.
That's okay.
You guys are at a very, very, very beautiful part in the MSQ.
I'd imagine we're finally level 88. We're doing level 88 at level 89.
No,
actually.
we just
hit level 89.
Starting level 89 stuff.
So and we're just doing 89 MSQ. So we're getting there towards the end. We're very excited, but we only do it on stream with the community. So because of that, we're going very slow. And then we also love to chat. So
true.
The chat is distracting.
I just blame it on them.
No, it's distracting, but it's great.
Yeah.
Like I love talking to people.
Have you guys been called out for stalling yet?
No.
Stalling? No.
No. Oh my god.
But you're putting ideas in their head.
My chat will not. My chat will not give me the end of day.
That's like funny.
They let me know up and down that I'm not playing the game, and it's it's crazy. It's just like, but you guys are the reason. Like,
yeah, exactly. Stop talking to me then.
Right.
We always say that in our stream, pretty much the game is always second and chat is first. So I feel like that's the reason with a game like Final Fantasy, it sucks because the gameplay and the story is so important and it's so big. And we're sitting here, we do it all the time where we'll just be like, something really serious is happening. And then I'll turn to chat and they'll be like, oh, butts. Oh, yeah, you guys are talking about poop and buttholes.
Right.
Go on some tangent.
It's this big thing where it's like, oh God, guys, we're about to I don't know, like fight the big bad evil guy. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say any sort of names or anything like that, but we're about to fight the big bad evil guy. It's like all hyped and all this. And then somebody asks me a question, and then 30 minutes later, I'm still talking about that question, and I'm not realizing my chat's blowing up saying, just stop! Just give it a second!
Focus!
Right.
Somebody says, what if your butt had taste buds? And you're just like, oh, great. Well, now we're going on a tangent about talking about this.
We're not going to right now, though. Let's not do
Jen's
that
keeping us on track.
Not that one.
Jen's like, let's not go down there.
Hey,
We can go on tangents.
because I could go there.
Yeah, me too. That'll be a different podcast. That'll be a Snackyyz and Eric podcast
There you
where
go.
that's the topic.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Y'all are ridiculous.
But anyway, so yeah, we did get to level so we got to level 89 MSQ, and then you just recently finished the MSQ, right?
Yep.
How
I finished the
recently?
MSQ. I finished the MSQ, what was it? I believe it was on Sunday. So just
very
2 days
recently.
ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still riding that high.
Yeah,
right now.
we're about to be there too.
Oh, dearest me.
I will say though, and I don't think it's too much of a spoiler, but the part of the MSQ that we just got through was very filler questy.
Oh, it was.
It was.
Oh, yeah. No, I've had a huge conversation with my chat about that quest.
Yeah.
They do not. A lot of people in my chat understand it's very filler questy, but even more were like, in a sort of a sense, kind of defending it. And I was also thinking like, well, no, because, the end of the world is happening,
Yeah.
and you're having me do World of Warcraft quests right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're
True.
doing fetch quests and stuff. It felt very fillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're still enjoying the crap out of the MSQ. It's really good, and I mean we're about to go into what I think is the final dungeon and then the final trial. Right? There's a dungeon and a trial.
There's stuff at the end, too.
Oh, there might be more. So, anyways, we're getting into it. It's
you guys, that filler part.
Yeah.
That's as bad as it's gonna get. Everything from here,
it's okay.
Godspeed. That's just all I'm gonna say.
Besides that, though, we did the Saints Wake stuff.
Yes, we have to run it a few more times because we need more
We need all the
cookies
clown outfit.
to buy the entire jester outfit. But yeah, we just did that a few minutes ago. And
Oh yeah, I was watching that actually. I don't know why.
You're
I
like,
just,
really?
you're like,
Tell me about that.
it was
more of this interesting conversation, shall we?
They did a really good job with it though. I like it wasn't. It's funny because they kind of had to push it back because of the release of Endwalker and all that kind of stuff. But it ended up being. It's not like. It wasn't like an afterthought. It doesn't feel like it was an afterthought, Like they did a really good job at being like it's a legit full-fledged Halloween event. And I really enjoy it. I like
I was saying it after watching you guys play. I'm like, I'm gonna have to stream this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys something real quick?
Okay.
So
No, never.
all
Just
right.
kidding.
Wait, no, this is our podcast. We ask the questions.
We are
here.
the questioners.
No, it's my podcast now.
What's up?
So when I want to know when Endwalker dropped and we were having these, large queue times and all that. How were you guys? What was your guys' opinions on the queues? Did you experience them? Did you deal with those?
We
did.
did. Yeah.
I was perfectly fine with it because I've gone through that with World of Warcraft, right? Like
It was
Right.
an understandable problem. Like it's completely an understandable problem. It wasn't for the lack of it wasn't a failure on Square Enix's point side, Like
Thank you. Thank you.
I was expecting
you have
it.
no idea how much that resonates throughout my soul. So many people got on my case by the fact that I'm saying guys, it's not that big a deal and this should have been expected.
Yeah.
And people were calling for the developers, they're saying oh, we need to light a fire underneath their feet. They need to understand how poorly they're doing right now. And I was like, no,
No.
the game has such high queue times because it's good.
There was
Everybody wants
a
to play.
lot of factors, and it was a lot of things that they couldn't control. They couldn't add more servers because of the lack of materials, so they couldn't do that. It was Not really just because they weren't willing to do so. They just couldn't. There was no way that they could do it.
Exactly.
They
there's some
issues-
things that they can control. There's some things that you just cannot control, and everyone gets, the bad end of the stick.
Yeah, and they weren't expecting the influx of new players that came with, all of the ABK controversy and everything. So there was that as well. Like, there was a lot of things that was beyond their control, and I think that they were doing the best that they could. Like, shutting down an entire data center and making it so that, new players didn't have priority or couldn't log in at all. Like, that sucks.
You couldn't buy the game.
Yeah, you couldn't buy the game. Like, think about that. That they're actually, like, this is beyond their control when they're shutting down you spending money. They're refusing the money that you're trying to throw at them. You know that there's something going on. Like, if otherwise they would fix the problem so that they could make more money.
A buddy of mine had told me actually he sent me a screenshot of a chat that he was having with his friend. And, this was when, like, the queues were actually settling down. And the guy that that he was speaking to said that Square Enix is going to get a class action lawsuit because they're not providing a service to them. And I was just thinking, like, how could you fathom that? This is an MMORPG. This happens with every single MMO that has ever existed and ever had a big drop like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's kind of like the content drought with World of Warcraft, where they went 8 months without giving us any new content. And what about, it's like, come on, we were paying a monthly fee on top of the fact that we paid for this expansion. We're also paying a monthly fee for nothing.
Wait. You're telling me you didn't just do the daily world quests?
Oh,
You're telling me you didn't
do the same shit over and over.
You didn't do all the dailies and the farming? You didn't get your renown with all your covenants up to 80? You're telling me that content isn't fun?
Yeah, no. It was really bad. Like, that's the reason we started playing Final Fantasy XIV again, because we've been playing it for years, but we had taken a break from it, and we went back to it because we were just like, there's nothing to do in World of Warcraft, so we're gonna play Final Fantasy XIV. And then we were like, oh man, this expansion is so great. It was awesome.
It was the content drought that we're still in. We're only getting 9.2, and I had seen somewhere, I don't know how valid this is, but I had seen somewhere on Twitter, so it's true. That their estimated time frame of when 9.2 is supposed to be dropping is sometime in March, and that's like
a good estimate.
Like, I don't want to rush them. They're dealing with a lot of crap right now.
Yeah.
They're dealing with a lot of crap.
Yeah.
But it's also like, because of the fact that, they only do this like 2-year expansion thing where 2 years up, next expansion comes out. We just now are getting the 9.2 patch. And I feel like there's a lot of people that, understandably are having a little bit of issues with the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me playing one of them.
Yeah, that was another reason why I was just like, they started to go with the story in 9.1. I was just like, well, I'm good.
Those look, my copium tanks can only run for so long until they just run dry.
It was that SpongeBob meme. All right, I'm gonna head out.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But instead of me getting up, I just sit down even harder and I boot up Final Fantasy.
Play another game. Okay, so let's get into the questions that we'd like to ask everything. What is your history with Final Fantasy games?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I've had a very long, deeply ingrained history for the past 4 months of Final Fantasy XIV, and that's about it.
Okay.
It's funny because
also I at one point played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, well that kind of counts.
We'll give you like half a game for that one.
I think that
I saw Sora. I'm basically part of the community.
I play a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. There was a Final Fantasy character in there, I think. It's like 1 or 2. I think that honestly, I would say probably 70 to 80% of the people that have been on this podcast so far have no previous experience with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I just made another statistic then.
because it's interesting. Like it's not and it's something that we tell people whenever they come into our stream. They're, oh, should I play Final Fantasy 14? I've never played a Final Fantasy game. And like, you literally have to have no experience.
Yeah.
And that's basically the same exact mindset I had. Like my friends, they got me into the game, and I was thinking like, dude, there's like how much, like a million Final Fantasies right now. Like I can't just get into the 14th one. They're like, don't worry about it. It's just, it has nothing to do with any of it. I'm just like, really? I'm like, yeah. So they showed me a bunch of stuff, and eventually I got on the bandwagon, as they say.
They're like, the only things that carry over are the chicken horses, the flying bat mice.
Okay.
Those are in there.
What else?
That's Sid.
Sid.
Is Sid really carried over?
So no, Sid. There is a character in I think every Final Fantasy that's named Sid. And then there is in every Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy VI, I think there's been a Biggs and a Wedge or a Vix and a Wedge character.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Sid
I love that.
Sid is a staple. Sid is a staple character. In Final Fantasy VI, Sid wore like a raincoat, but Final Fantasy VI was on SNES, so he just looked like a banana. So we called him the banana guy.
Yeah, for the longest time, a lot of the stuff that I experienced in Final Fantasy XIV, I had thought was specifically about just Final Fantasy XIV. So I recently downloaded and bought the, I guess reversed, I bought and then downloaded Final Fantasy 1 through 6. And when I booted it up, I heard music from Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, oh, this is just like a long running thing if they just bring the same sort of music, which I should have guessed, but
the prelude song, the
if I do it, people are gonna unfollow me, but
yeah, that's pretty much
that one.
That's pretty much all. And that's another thing, is that they use different musical cues and stuff like that from other ones. Like in Final Fantasy XIV, you're gonna find music from every other fucking Final Fantasy pretty much, and
yeah, I know.
It's awesome. But if you don't know it, you just think it's good music.
Like me.
True.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, that's a cool
if you
song.
post any of those videos from onto YouTube, any like I've been posting my stream videos on my YouTube.
Yeah.
You'll find out that they will get copyrighted.
They'll get flagged.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Because Warner Chappell, I'm onto you, will be like, well, hey, that's not Final Fantasy VIII. You're stealing our music, dude.
You're playing Final Fantasy 14, and that's from a different Final Fantasy, so get the fuck out of here.
Shame on you. Shame on you. This is a totally fair process.
So when is it that you started playing Final Fantasy then?
I started playing Final Fantasy June 1st, I believe. June 1st or June 3rd.
Okay.
And it's that is since then I've basically been doing that. There's been a little bit of other streams here and there, like for October every Sunday I was doing a horror stream, all that sort of stuff. I'm not as variety as some may think. When I see something that's working for my channel, a streamer streams that.
Yep. Yeah. That's, I mean, unfortunately, the thing that worked for our channel was World of Warcraft. And we decided that we weren't going to be playing that for a little while. So,
what happened? Why did you guys choose to stop? What could have ever happened?
Oh, what happened was we got bored.
What happened? Dude, honestly, I think that people automatically think that it's the ABK thing. That definitely did have something to do with it. But also, we were bored. Like, it's such a huge part of it.
There's so many more variables to it.
Boring. Like, we found ourselves doing the exact same shit every single time we logged in, and we're like, I'm not enjoying this. And just not enjoying it is enough reason to start playing another game. Like,
absolutely,
100%. But it's hard when you have a community that's built up around a certain game, and then you're like, all right, well, guys, we're going to go play this other MMO. And of course, everybody likes to, if it's the same game genre, everybody likes to pit them against each other as enemies.
Oh my god,
it's like console wars, and you're just
tell me about it.
It's just a different game. Like,
it's like, oh, dude, Final Fantasy 14 is gonna be the killer of WoW. It's
yeah,
like, I don't know. I don't even know if Final Fantasy 14 is even on the same platform as WoW. I hate
the term WoW killer. Like,
oh yeah, the WoW killer. It's because it's been on the top for so long.
yeah,
And
I do
now,
like the fact that people say that the only WoW killer is WoW.
That's a good one.
That's
Womp womp.
I've reiterated that one so much.
Yes. WoW's doing WoW will kill itself, I'm sure. Rift, oh my God, Rift! I loved
Rift was good
that
when it was
game when it came out, and then
Rift
I
was
went
good
back.
when it was good.
I went back to Rift, and I was just like, oh wow, this is not aged well.
That's how it works, huh? It was good when it was good.
Speaking of Rift, what other MMOs have you played besides Final Fantasy XIV and of course World of Warcraft? I guess.
Well, my MMO days, I believe, actually started with Lord of the Rings Online because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Nuh-uh.
And then it went to Pirates of the Caribbean Online.
Okay, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Wow.
They didn't last long.
Oh.
Don't worry, that's why. Okay.
Right. And then there was what was it? I mean, MMOs have been in my life for, since I was like, 8. So it was Lord of the Rings Online, Pirates of the Caribbean Online. Then it was Knights of the Old Republic, Toontown, Fusion Fall from Cartoon Network, and a little bit of Wizard 101. And then finally, back in 2014, when Warlords of Draenor dropped, which I'll die on the hill and say that was a great expansion.
I was about to say, you started in Warlords of Draenor. I could have called that you were going to say that was a good expansion. I could have I should have bet on it.
I will die on that hill.
Everyone loves their first expansion.
Yeah.
For some reason, if you started in that expansion, you're just like, this is a great expansion. I mean, it makes sense. It's the reason why you started playing the game.
Exactly. Like Warlords of Draenor was good enough for my stupid ass to,
You're not making a good argument for Warlords of Draenor being a good game.
No, I know. So here's the thing about World of Warcraft, okay? During my time with all those other MMOs, I've known of World of Warcraft. I played during Wrath of the Lich King a little bit, but I didn't really get into World of Warcraft until my friend got me into it because I believe he bought me Warlords of Draenor, and I played it, and I got so good at the game, and that's probably why I like it, because I was good, and that's the only time I was good at the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of my, similar to my experience, because I started playing WoW in vanilla, but it was on my brother's account, so I barely played it, and I didn't have my own account until Burning Crusades. So it was like I've been playing it for longer than I say, but I usually just say that I started in Burning Crusades because that's when you actually started playing it and enjoying it.
Yeah, when you really like dedicate yourself to the actual game itself. Like you'll play like I've played Call of Duty like here and there for the past few years, but the last Call of Duty I really played was Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Like the last one I really played was that one.
The time that you could say is when you actually started playing World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy is when you say goodbye to all of your friends and family.
Wow.
And you
when you start getting grounded for
dedicate
your
yourself.
grades,
Dedicate yourself to the darkness.
Yeah, true. It's when
the only light is the glow of your screen.
It's when you start to develop new smells.
Discover new smells that you didn't know that you could admit.
It's like, oh wow, that's ripe.
What is that? Oh, that's me.
Ew, shower. No, I say that. Everybody's like, Jen, you look really good today. I'm like, thanks. I showered, y'all.
Took a shower today.
You're welcome.
So in Final Fantasy, but also I guess across any MMO really, but specifically Final Fantasy, what is your favorite class to play? And I mean that in both specifically Final Fantasy class, but also DPS, tank, or healer.
So, MMOs in general, I'm a damage dealer.
Okay.
Because I'm awesome. See, that's the mindset.
Okay.
I'm not a wuss that just stands there and takes hits.
Exactly. See, I like if I can get my name at the top of the little number thing.
Oh God,
that's such a World of Warcraft mentality right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna gunman style on everybody. Now I don't ever get there, but that's the mindset I need to be in.
There was a very short amount of time where I was up there in WoW when we were doing raids, and I was just right up there at the top, and I was like, yeah. And then they nerfed the shit out of DKs.
Oh my god,
I cried.
DKs have never seen the light of day ever again.
Yep. They were just like, hey, you see that well? There's something at the bottom I want you to go get, and just.
Yeah.
So in Final Fantasy, my class is a samurai, and I haven't really touched many of the other classes. I really like Dancer. I like what's happening with Dancer. When it comes to a healer class, I like Astrologian or Astrologian, however you call it. And when it comes to tank, I like the Gunbreaker. Nice. Because it's a DPS class inside of control.
Three. What they say that it's 3 DPS in a trench coat.
Exactly. I mean, I've heard that a million times.
Yeah, but it's very accurate. It's very accurate.
Yeah. And then when it comes to Astrologian, the reason why I like it is because, I mean, it's such a stressful thing to be a healer, and to all the healers out there, you have my respect. Honestly,
you're welcome.
Yeah, dude. Because I ran Palace of the Dead on floor 9, and my friend got a little bit low health, and I started sweating. I'm not even lying. I was like, wait, my friends are gonna roast me if I do anything poor here. So, because I've been a DPS this entire time, and I talk mad shit for someone that is really bad at the game.
Yeah.
So I need to do good. And like I'm stressing, I'm trying to learn my rotation, and that's one thing. The gameplay of a healer stresses me out. I'm not a big fan of it because I get nervous.
Yeah.
But for an Astrologian, to have your idle stance just be looking at that ball of cards floating around,
that's it.
That's the whole reason why I like
stance.
Astrologian. Exactly. Exactly. And every Astrologian can agree with me.
That's reason enough. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, what's cool about you? Look at this.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, just you wait. Hold on. I'm going to switch over to it here in a minute.
Yeah, let me type in. Oh, no, that's
change pose. C
yeah,
pose.
Right.
There we go.
That's how it works.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that healing is on the bottom of my, I will do healing last. Everybody's like, yeah, you got to get Omni, do all of the stuff. And I was like, I will never get that because I refuse to heal.
Yeah,
I'll tank.
I like tanking because I can basically fall asleep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like DPS because I like to, flex my gamer muscles. And I like healing because people like healers every now and then. And
every now and then.
Reasons that aren't healers.
So why samurai specifically? What was the thing that kind of made you land on that?
The aesthetics. It was a lot of my choices when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV is purely based on the fact that things look cool. And I almost went Paladin.
Yeah,
I almost went Paladin.
Badass.
I saw Dark Knights, but then I saw that every Dark Knight does the same Dark Knight stuff. They RP walk in moments they don't need RP walk.
Hey, Dark Knight is my main tank.
They have that sword. They have that sword that sticks down the ground, and they're just like this the entire time.
Well, I think that's specific. I think the male Dark Knights, the stance or whatever, they throw the sword over their shoulder.
Oh yeah, those guys too.
Cloud from Final Fantasy. That's funny.
When things are aesthetically pleasing enough, that's when I'll choose it. And when I saw a Lalafell holding a samurai sword and then swooshing it about and then putting it behind him like he was a Jedi, I was like, God damn.
Oh, you play a Lalafell.
I do. I play a Lalafell.
Yeah,
because I'm awesome.
Because you're awesome. I am behind that shit. Lalas are cool as fuck.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, Lalas are great. Me and Jen played a Lala for a while. We both played Lalas for a while, and then the community was able to. They hit a goal, so they chose what race we would play. So then I was a Hrothgar and she was a Mikote, and then I was after that I was like, I'm going back to Hyur because I played a Hyur for the longest time, and I was like, I'm going back to Hyur, so I went back to Hyur.
Yeah, what happened? You guys are tall now.
Well, so I thought about going back to a Lala because I really liked it.
I
went to a Hyur.
I'll go with you.
Jen went to Hyur as well, but then she wants to go back Lala.
We did a charity event, and they got to pick what our race was for the first month.
So I was Hrothgar.
And I was a Mikote. And then Eric was like, I'm going to go here. And I was like, I'll go here with you.
Yeah.
And then
She doesn't like it.
Now we have half a week left of being those, and we're going to be bun couple.
Which you
in
were
February.
considering
bunny
being.
couple.
You were considering being a Vera before.
I was.
I was.
My least favorite, for me personally to play, I should say, is the Bun Boys. I don't like them. I just don't want to play one. And because I don't like them and I am so vocal about it, my community said, screw you, you're going to do it. So,
Hey, you just made so many people on my side happy by saying that.
but that I don't like Bun Boys, or I do?
That you don't like them. You vindicated them.
I don't. And everyone loves them. And now I have to play one for a whole goddamn month. And also, for some reason, I was just like, hey guys, maybe if we hit 500 subs this month, I'll let you pick my ears. Because they know that I hate the floppy ears because they're the dumbest looking ones. And then they're like, screw you, Eric, you're going to be a floppy-eared bun boy. So
They haven't hit that goal yet, though.
You're giving chat a lot of power.
Yeah. They haven't hit the goal, and I I don't think they will. And I'm glad. I love the support. Every sub is amazing. But I also am just if it means that I'm gonna go hungry, I could use some weight loss, right?
Jesus!
If I don't have to have those stupid ears, I already have to be a bun boy. So,
hey, calorie deficiency, here we come. Feel me?
yeah, exactly. I'm fine.
Nah,
with it.
but a big defining factor. I don't know if you guys have tuned into my streams when I say this stuff, but a big defining factor as to why I also choose to play Lala is because there's a lot of very attractive characters inside the game that are way taller than me, and
you got a nice view.
It's not just a nice view, but when they look down at me and they look kind of upset, it's like nice.
It's like this is my fetish. Hello there.
I can freak people out. I like trolling people.
Yeah, I think that you're like Lalas are like pretty much butt height for a lot of
Butt height?
races. So,
Yeah,
people can't be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm just standing here. All right, I'm not doing
it's
anything.
a great game.
I'm just standing here.
This is a great game, guys. And if you haven't played this game yet, no, wow. Come on, get on it.
So in your time playing Final Fantasy XIV, what would you say is your favorite memory experience that you've had, either with a community or running a dungeon or story-wise, something like that?
There's so many. Probably the most notable experience inside of the game that I absolutely loved was from my community. My friends who got me into the game that rallied a bunch of strangers who probably didn't even know who I was at the time, but they welcomed me to Shadowbringers.
Aw.
And the turnout was so huge, and I had not expected it. And it chokes me up now thinking about it, because it's like never in my life have people rallied around and just been enthusiastic about me. So it really hit me right in my feels, It
Yeah.
still does hit me right in my feels.
That's
And look, they're spamming your chat with my emote right now.
I love it.
The
I love
emote that
so
they
much.
plagued me with. The blueberry
awesome.
snackies.
the blueberry
This-
snackies.
Don't give them power. Don't vindicate them.
That's great. Yeah, and I definitely I know how that feels, because that was like the first time that somebody we had done something on TikTok at one point, and I think we followed someone, and they made a TikTok where they used the green screen effect, and they were showing the screen that we followed them behind them, and they were like tearing up. Like,
Oh,
oh my God, like tearing
Oh
up,
my
and they were
God.
pointing at the fact that we followed them, and I was like, what is happening?
no, but
Why?
you guys gotta understand when that's relatable to a sense, because when I saw that you guys when you guys had used my sound, that was acknowledgement. I don't know what it was, but it was like appreciation to a degree, and I was just like, oh my, the rest of my work day, I was just smiling.
Ah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Hey, that's
we
awesome.
got there.
I'm glad.
The dwarf people know.
The dwarves have seen me. They have looked up
Yeah.
and seen me.
Yeah.
I actually I wanted to ask you, where did that song come from? Why did you come up with that song?
I,
Do we want to know?
No, I do. Yes,
I'm
I don't care what the
nervous
story
now.
is.
I am nervous now.
I was taking a dump.
Yes. You know, all
That's
stories
just so many
start
great ideas come
with
from
butts.
taking a dump. So
I was taking a dump, and I was just thinking of like fantasy stuff because who doesn't do that?
because you're a
you know?
fucking nerd, yeah.
Exactly. I'm just like
I was taking a dump,
Oh,
thinking
I'm
of
just-
fantasy stuff,
I'm sitting there on my phone, just like, God, dwarves are so cool. And
as one does. Right.
yeah, so I was just thinking about like what could I do like for TikTok and whatever while struggling. And after a little bit, I was just like, we something about dwarves maybe. I haven't added any sort of dwarves into any of my content, and I was thinking like, what would be good? I know what's going on. There's been that whole like sea shanty trend. You know the Wellerman song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was during the time, and I was thinking like, ooh, what could be cool there? So I just started thinking of things because I'm a lyrical master, and
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, what would be good? Something about dwarves, something short enough to where people would like it, to where they'd share it and all that stuff. What would be good? So I just kept thinking, and over time, throughout like half of my day, I was just thinking of like, what would rhyme with this? What would go with this? What would be funny? What would all this? And I basically gathered the entirety of the project that I was doing when I was walking my dog. I was walking my dog, and I'm just like, nice. I have everything. So everything was already created. I put it on paper. I was writing things down. Inside of my phone and everything like that. And I then spent like 8 hours making it because I drew everything.
I was gonna ask that if you drew all the art and stuff.
I drew all the art, and I made the background and everything like that. I edited the video, put all the music together, found a way to actually upload it to TikTok in a way that I wanted it to upload, because TikTok has a little bit of issues with actually wanting to upload video. It all worked out, and look what's happening now.
It's great. I love it.
I had an idea on the toilet, and now I'm talking with the people that like inspired me to start streaming. Like, that's
shit
great.
happens.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Literally.
That's what they say. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
man.
I love that one. And then we had done another one at some point where you got us to do voices. And in fact, I just thought of this. I'm gonna do. I just wrote a dwarf drinking song that is going to be a TikTok, and there is a part where a bunch of it's supposed to be being sung in a tavern, and a lot of people come in, and you should lend your voice to that.
Lend it.
Ooh,
You
that'd
should
be good.
lend me your voice. Like freaking
I'll lend it.
Like Ariel lent her voice to Ursula. Do that,
Oh.
I'm not
Which
giving
is
it,
funny because
I'm not giving it back.
when I was making the dwarf song, I thought it was terrible because I was hearing myself say the same thing over and over again. I'm like, oh man, imposter syndrome setting in. I'm stupid. This is dumb. Everything's stupid. But why do I keep editing it? Because a part of me is like, this is good.
Yeah.
But I was expecting somebody in my comment section just be like cringe straight face emoji. I was like, no one did.
That's
it was
good.
great.
Yeah.
Good.
That was when
Snackyz
TikTok
is
wasn't
going
so
to get-
rude to me.
Snackyz is going to get legs in this deal. Finally.
Oh, nice. Nice, dude. Maybe I'll wear pants too. I wear shorts for the most part.
So, besides Final Fantasy, what other games would you say are like your go-to games? Like the games that you play, you're all about?
Oh, really anything that my friends are doing.
Nice.
A big portion of why I play video games is just to really connect to my friends, because most of my friends don't actually live where I live.
Mm-hmm.
They all live, on different parts of the globe, or they live, in a different state or something like that, and I can't connect with them like in person like I would want to. So if my friends are doing something, like I don't know, like if my friends, stuck to playing New World, I'd probably be playing New World as well.
No, not many people seem to have stuck to playing New World. It seems.
Yeah. So there was a time when Classic WoW had dropped. I was actually the guy that got a bunch of my friends in, to classic WoW, and I was having the greatest time of my life. And
Nice.
my friend, because I love World of Warcraft,
Mhm.
as much
Yep.
as it makes me angry right now, but
Same.
as much as it makes me angry, I love it. And when I got to play classic, I actually got to play what vanilla felt like. I got to play what Burning Crusade felt
Mhm.
like. The huge part as to what made all of that fun was running around in all these sort of zones in Azeroth with my friends.
Yeah.
So that's basically where it's all out. And one of the big reasons why I even started streaming in the first place was because my friends weren't online when I would get off of work, so I wanted someone to talk to. And
Got it. Yeah.
there you
So
go.
so what's it like having friends? No, it's
That burns Eric too soon.
It's a great thing, I'll tell you
okay.
what.
Well, I gotta get some of them. No,
Your chat's telling you to hush.
so besides that, then what do you have any other, besides video games and streaming and stuff like that? Do you have any other hobbies that you're into?
Dungeons and Dragons.
What is that?
The
Dungeons and
nerdness
Dragons?
just doesn't stop.
It doesn't. It's not turned off when
Yeah.
you hit the stop streaming button.
No, I turn off my computer and then I just, I mean, if I'm not streaming Final Fantasy 14 and talking about World of Warcraft, I got to find some sort of way to protect my virginity. You feel me?
Yeah, it's in constant danger. So you.
Right. I can't like, oh no, I'm feeling too attractive. Quick, roll a d20.
Roll the d20. Oh man.
That's how it goes.
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
goes.
That makes a lot of sense. So you've been playing Dungeons and Dragons. How long have you been playing D&D?
My friends got me into D&D. I think around the same time I got into Warlords of Draenor.
Oh, okay.
So 2014, I believe, when it dropped.
Nice.
Yeah. That was basically around the time when that happened. And for the first 3 years, I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then slowly, after 2017, I actually took my time to actually learn something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nice.
Do you DM or
And-
do you only play?
I do both.
Oh.
I do both. Yeah. I can't tell you which one's better because sometimes I have a terrible time DMing and sometimes I have a terrible time playing.
Yeah. And sometimes you have a
not
great
gonna
time.
say who.
You just pointed out the terrible stuff. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
terrible DMing, sometimes it's terrible playing. Do you ever have
Yeah.
fun?
Oh man. I recently just had a character die because
Oh, shit.
my DM
No.
my DM rolled 3 nat 20s against me. Yeah, in a row.
Rigged.
And it wasn't even like a cool death or anything like that. Like these were like a CR 0.5, a CR sneeze creature,
Ugh.
and they just rolled so immaculately that they put me down.
They
And I
summoned
just-
Bahamut
Yeah, I didn't get beheaded or anything. I just withered as I bled out. I was just
Oh,
like,
wow.
ah! Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It was a great time. It was a great time.
So do you have do you have a go-to race and class in D&D, or are you every campaign or every new character it's something new?
Halflings.
Okay.
Oh.
I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I love hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Lalafels.
Mhm.
Strangely enough, I absolutely despise gnomes in World of Warcraft.
They
Um,
are not a good representation of the small statured, okay?
No, and I don't know what Blizzard was thinking adding the mecha gnomes there,
Dude.
because they said, "Oh, how could we make this race look uglier?" That's right. That's right, everybody. Fantasy racism.
It's okay because they're not real races.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
that. It was funny because I didn't like gnomes, and then they were like, "How could we make a race that is more detestable than gnomes?" And then they added goblins, and then I was like, "Okay, I don't like those. Those are now my least favorite." And then, well, they didn't add goblins; they'd been around. They just made them playable, and then they
Yeah.
added the mechagnomes, and I was just like, "Oh, why?"
The thing is, they could have made goblins better, but they made goblins not good.
Yeah, that's true.
They could have made goblins that are like little like impish, like stab you. But no, they're like, hey yo, hey,
I'm here to
Johnny,
make some money.
This man's not playing a goblin. He's playing. Look at him. He's playing a panda. Who plays a panda anymore? These pandas,
But yeah, it's funny because I like the main reason I chose Lala's when we did play Lala was because it was the closest I can get to a dwarf. And if you've played Shadowbringers, you know that there is a version of dwarves in the game. And I was like, you know what? It's in the game. I am saying that I am a dwarf. That because that's essentially all they are. So they're Lalas in a different, in a different sphere, in the different reflection. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a dwarf, and I like wanted to wear the headpiece all the time, and I actually bought the Santa beard that you can get off of the Mog Station. And
I saw you guys were
that.
rocking that for a time.
It was all I was like, I cannot be seen without this beard. And it was actually funny because when I switched over to a Hrothgar, all of my glams had that beard on it. So,
It was so funny.
I would switch over to a glam that I hadn't switched over to in a while, and I had that stupid beard, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta change it.
How else are they supposed to know you were once a dwarf?
Yeah, exactly. Nice dwarven beard.
It's kind of like me. I can't, at least I don't allow myself to wear anything like glam-wise in Final Fantasy XIV that isn't suspenders and shorts.
I mean,
that's been my go-to glam. I have so many great outfits. I've never worn any of them.
Can you be a bun boy with a beard?
I don't know if
you're giving a lot of people in a very degenerate side of Final Fantasy a lot of power by Clutch to do that. A lot of the Limza are like, yeah, what about the beards?
I feel like you
scruffle.
could because it's a face item, right?
Well, yeah, you mean the Santa beard?
Naruto said you can beard a bun.
The Santa beard?
Yeah.
I feel like they shouldn't even be able to grow. They shouldn't be able to grow facial hair. Their faces don't look like they can handle facial hair. They're too pretty. They're too beautiful.
I think the female Vieira should definitely be able to have beards.
I still think that it's funny because people always give us shit. Oh, why doesn't she have? Whenever people see our dwarf cosplays, and why doesn't she have a beard? Like they always say that she's supposed to have a beard, and I'm always like, you guys, there's different lore. World of Warcraft lore doesn't have bearded females, and it's funny because I actually do advocate for them adding beards for the female dwarves in WoW.
It'd be great.
It would be awesome.
It would be.
But it's also
I'm a strong advocate for undead having beards in WoW, but Blizzard likes to just put me on mute.
Yeah. Pretty much, it's so funny how everybody pretty much just says give our race beards. Because I've seen the person that always posts about troll beards, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like everybody wants beards. Just give every race beards, no matter the gender. Let them all have beards.
The thing that is so because I play it undead in World of Warcraft, okay? Mm-hmm. The thing that just blights my soul is seeing Nathano's Blightcaller have a goatee and my ass doesn't even get a chin. You know?
I can't even get a lower jaw. Come on.
Right. Like, how dare you? Like, at least give me a mustache, Something evil looking. But no. Blizzard's like, nah, you already get the features. You already get to look stinky. So
look stinky. There's also the whole concept of there being other races as undead. And people were like, let us be undead.
That'd be really cool. Like,
undead
why just
night elves? But
yeah, I have you guys seen that lady on Twitter? Or who
I know her.
I think might be
the lady.
And right. She is a strong advocate for having the Dark Ranger class. Have you seen her?
No, I have not, but I've heard of people wanting the Dark Ranger class for freaking.
She is the only other advocate for cool things for undead I've seen.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool. That would be interesting though. If would you have to make it specifically only undead?
I mean, they do.
With demon
they already do the
hunters?
Thing with demon hunters. Yeah, they do that. I personally think World of Warcraft would probably benefit if every race could be every class, and the demon hunters are the only exception where just make the void elves and the Nightfallen also be able to be demon hunters.
Yeah, and I mean, I also understand it's kind of like they did with that Death Knights. There's Death Knights who were turned by the Lich King, and then there's a whole different group of Death Knights who were turned or were became Death Knights with Bolvar, where Bolvar was like I'm making good Death Knights, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pandas couldn't be Death Knights for a hot minute.
Yeah,
and
then
then
they just
and then the I believe it was the Shadowlands announcement, and then we just start seeing a bunch of blue-eyed pandas walking about, and it was like, wait a minute, why do you get to be cool now?
Yeah,
you know,
and then
like there's some great Death Knight panda armor out there, and I'm upset because I look like a scrawny like Asmongold fellow.
Hey, we don't besmirch the name of Asmongold on this podcast.
Nah, he's the one true king. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow, Jen.
That was a lot louder than I intended it to be.
My buddy Gio's in the chat, and he does not understand why Taurens can't be rogues, and I think it would be hilarious if a Tauren could sneakily clop up to somebody, and then to attack them, they just gore them from nowhere.
That would be awesome.
You're sipping tea and just
Why not?
Just stomping
It'd be
around.
hilarious.
That'd be great. I mean, pandas can be rogues. I know this because I have a panda rogue. So, you know, it makes sense.
And undead can be priests, but they can't be paladins. Where does that work?
Yeah, how does that work? I don't know. Evil priests. I mean, I guess they're a shadow priest.
True.
So, the question that we like to ask everybody who is a part of our podcast is, if you could change one thing about Final Fantasy XIV, what would it be? Sneaky beef. I like that.
All right, that's a good question. That's a real good question.
I feel like pretty much every time somebody comes up with a good
it's
suggestion.
always a good thing. No pressure. But they've all been different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if mine would be different, just because when it comes to questions on what I would change with a game, I'm stupid, and I don't really know what's good for a game for the most part. But I know what annoys me.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, that's kind of like what we're asking. Like, what's the one thing that's just like, oh my god, this needs to change?
Don't think about the greater good for everyone else.
Just
what is
you.
it that you would change that you want changed?
So instead of saying something like the Mog Station type thing, I think everybody and their mama has said, you know, the Mog Station has been an issue, or buying the game has been an issue. There's one thing inside of the game that I'm not a huge fan of, and that's the Party Finder system.
Okay.
The Party Finder system is really clunky to me, and at least in retrospect, or like in comparison to other MMOs that I played, World of Warcraft being one of them, their Party Finder system is very clean. They've put it very sleek, and it's simple, but it's well thought out to where people can actually see what's going on and how, you know, you can form a party and all of that. Party Finder for me, for the first time trying to figure out Party Finder, I wanted to play with my buddy Gio because he was going to help me with the trial, and somehow, I don't even remember what it was, he got locked out of it, and he couldn't join, and I couldn't leave the group, or no, the group couldn't disband or something like that. Wow. It was such a headache. And it irked me a little bit, and I've always had a little bit of an issue with the Party Finder. And I'll add a little bonus to what I would change. Yeah. I need the glamour system to be just like World of Warcraft or better.
You mean like
because
adding a piece to your glamour?
If you pick up an item that you don't have if you pick up a piece of armor, that you don't have like the appearance to, it should save. I shouldn't have to go all the way out over to my inn and only and only have like 400 slots. And it should be, in my opinion, if you pick up a cool armor piece for a job that you're currently not on, it should just attach right to you. That's something that WoW doesn't do.
Yeah.
That would make it better. If they could just basically, I don't know, copy and paste that to their own system, and then add that one little change where just, you know, if I'm playing a hunter in World of Warcraft and I pick up something that isn't a hunter weapon or a hunter armor, it should still come to me. That is still a huge drop.
Yeah.
And someone even said, give me more spots at the very least. Yeah, that I agree with that as well. 400 is not enough.
So glamour plates is only only 15 glamour plates, I think, that you have access to. And even that, it might seem at first when they're like, yeah, you got 15 glamour plates. That's actually not enough. Like you can play every single freaking class. So 15
glamour plates, and like you have 15 ideas for every single job.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
you
like it
or at least make it so that your glamour plates switch whenever you switch your class.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if it's like, if I'm a ninja, I've got 15 ninja glamour plates. If I'm a...
Also, another small thing
cool.
that I would probably change is
Let's
for
just
the
keep going.
yeah, I know.
we're going to write an open letter to Squeenix right now.
Well, I mean,
for
we know that
for the
they
love
watched.
of God,
Mhm.
for the love of God, just make sprinting unlimited in hubs.
Yeah,
Just
why
do
is
it.
that?
Okay.
Just do it.
It's
Like
kinda...
I shouldn't have to run all the way across Ul'dah and then be out of breath. You know,
That's true. That's a good one.
and it's not a big deal or anything. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know, it's like I just want to get there. You know, I just want to get to my
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah. Or just make it so that you're always sprinting. In
or,
hubs.
yeah, or just be faster in the
Yeah,
hubs.
just
You
be
know,
faster in a hub.
kind of like Death Knights inside
Exactly.
the in Ebb and Hold.
Yeah.
They're just sprinting. You know, they're going fast because they're Death Knights. They're already slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking don't even get me started on that shit.
Frosty K, man. I don't even care if it's not optimal. I put all my buffs into speed. So like when I'm doing something solo, I'm just zooming for
Yeah.
3 seconds.
I played an Unholy DK, and it was just Frosty, Unholy and Frost, and like
You said
everybody else is fucking like zooming and popping all around and like, oh, let me use the speed buff, and everybody's all way ahead of me in the dungeon, and I'm just over here.
The moment
Wait up for
Pandas got
me!
the moment that Pandas got the racial to just, you know, roll, I was like, all right, I'm a joke. They don't like me anymore.
Pretty much, yeah. But anyways, so thanks for hanging out with us and chatting with us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Where can folks find you?
You can find me at how do I say it? Twitch.tv/Snakyyz. That's snack YYZ. You could also find me on TikTok. Same thing. And you can also find me on YouTube. Guess what? Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You knew the
I also have a-
assignment.
Right. Yeah. I also have a Twitter, but I'm not interesting on Twitter. So
So what you're saying is everyone follow him on Twitter, not any other ones. Twitter.
yeah. Don't. Yeah. I just put in my application for Twitch partner. So you know, I need to get other places. You know, Twitch is gonna be looking like, oh, dang, he doesn't have a billion followers on Twitter. How else is he supposed to be good at Twitch, guys?
It's all right. Neither do we, and we got partnered for some reason. So, yeah.
Yay!
Fingers crossed. Yeah,
crossed.
I'm sure that here's the thing. If you don't get it, it's only a matter of time. It's not
Yes.
a no. So
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you do get it, well, yeah, fucking duh. Have they seen those suspenders? Why would you be? Oh, I don't know about this guy. Look at those
Hello?
suspenders. Oh, wait, never mind.
Or like, oh wait, oh dude, a ginger with suspenders. That changes everything.
This guy's got his virginity intact. It's partnered.
Helping the
Hell
the
yeah.
youth.
But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with it. It has been a pleasure
Absolutely.
chatting with you. And of course, if you are watching this live, obviously you're watching it live. You just watched it. You don't have to listen to it. But we are going to have this live next week, not this coming week Friday, but the next Friday. Pretty much everywhere, YouTube, and then everywhere where podcasts are found. And then Jen is going to find somewhere for us to take our fine folks and chat. So if you're watching, stick around for the raid, say hi, all that shit. You can use raid emotes from us, or you can use raid emotes from Snackyyz if you want, because you know
Can
what?
I?
Some of you
Can I-
guys
can I-
are from there.
Can I give a
What?
request?
Oh,
Can
do
I
it.
request
Oh, yeah.
somebody?
Do it. Who is it?
So he just started streaming, and he knows you guys.
Got it. Go to Azin.
SM.
He knows of you guys.
Uh-huh.
And he's a really good friend of mine. He just started streaming. I've been trying to support him all the
Yeah.
way. He's currently streaming the remastered version of Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Nice.
His name is Colton Games, and it's Cole KHOLE
Big dick
TONGAMES. Yeah, oh yeah. So when I rape somebody, I tell them to say big dick rape. Because I don't have emotes yet, or like any rape.
Well,
emotes.
if you're from our stream, if from our community, you can
right,
just use those.
right.
Okay,
If you want to say big dick, go for it.
give me a second. I gotta find.
Just
I
that
gotta-
isn't
okay.
representative of everybody involves penis size. I just
Yeah,
want
you
to
goddamn right.
I just want to
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
that I
Can you spell the
voice
first
it
part
out.
of it again? Like.
Do you want me to
CROE?
send it to you on Discord? I could just
You can just
drop
pop
the
it
link in there.
Chat too if you want. It doesn't matter.
Chat. Yeah, okay, no worries. I
Not
didn't
played
know
Final
what you're-
Fantasy 14, so talk him into it. Oh, okay. So this is going to
Oh,
be.
oh man, bug him about it.
We're trying to extend the cult, the
Got it.
family. Got it.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Make sure you give him a follow. Use the emotes if you want. Thank you, Snakyyz, for hanging out with us. Thank you to Snakyyz for community for joining us today. And we will see you guys next time on the next episode of JenEric Endtalkers. Everybody have a fantastic night, and we'll see
Thank
you
you
around.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. JenEric Endtalkers is recorded live on twitch.tv/JenEricLive, where Jen and Eric also stream a lot of Final Fantasy XIV, as well as a few other games. And as always, keep your forge hot and your ale cold.